The lecture is about fluid mechanics. In this lecture, we are going to briefly discuss about surface tension. First, we are going to see the definition for surface tension. Surface tension is defined as the tensile force acting on the surface of a liquid in contact with the gas or on the surface between two immersible liquids such that the contact surface behaves like a membrane under tension. First, consider a diagram. See over here, a liquid droplet is being dropped on a liquid where when the liquid is being dropped, the surface acts like a membrane. See over here, the surface acts like a membrane and it starts to deform continuously. See, the surface tension is due to because of cohesion between the molecules at the surface of the liquid. The surface tension is due to the cohesion between the molecules at the surface of the liquid. The unit of the surface tension is Newton meter. Now we are going to briefly discuss about your surface tension on a liquid droplet. See, these are the molecules of your liquid droplet. I am going to consider a point A, which is being your interior part of your water droplet. All liquid molecules will have a tendency to attract each other. Normally, the molecules of your liquid will have tendency to attract each other. A liquid molecule on the interior part of your liquid body has other molecules on all the sides. See over here, this molecule has your molecules on all the side of the direction and it experiences an equilibrium force of attraction and the molecule is attracted on all the sides as point A. Now consider a molecule on your surface. Okay, so this is your point B, which has been on your surface of your water droplet. See, a liquid molecules at the surface at point B, that is this point, doesn't have the liquid molecules above it to pull them outward. See over here, it has only, see this is your B molecule, it has only molecules on a side and your bottom. It doesn't have any molecules on your top surface to pull it. Next, the free surface try to move towards the center by the downward force. See, this molecule doesn't have an equilibrium force because it has experienced only force on your sides and your bottom and it doesn't have your force on your top to maintain your equilibrium position. Therefore, this molecule will be always has the tendency to move towards your downward direction. The force of the liquid surface is normal to the liquid surface. Next, we are going to see examples for surface tension. See, these are the examples where we can see your surface tension on your day-to-day life itself. First, we are going to see surface tension on your liquid droplet. Consider a small liquid spherical droplet as shown in figure. Now, I am going to see this is your spherical liquid droplet taken into a consideration. First, I have drawn your line diagram of your spherical droplet. See, the entire surface of the droplet has the tensile force due to surface tension acting on it. Now I am going to take your cross section. See, the surface tension has been acting on your entire cross section, which has been denoted by a letter sigma. Next, we are going to talk about your pressure intensity, where P is your pressure intensity acting inside your liquid droplet. Always, the pressure intensity will be acting in opposite direction to your surface tension. At last, D is your diameter of your liquid droplet. First, we are going to calculate the tensile force due to surface tension, that is equal to sigma into circumferential area. Your circumferential area is nothing but pi d. Therefore, it is equal to sigma into pi into d. Next, we are going to calculate your pressure force, where it is equal to P into cross-sectional area. We know that your cross-sectional area is pi by 4 into d square. Therefore, it will be equal to P into pi by 4 into d square. For an equilibrium condition, the sum of forces should be equal to 0. So first, I am going to say sigma into pi into d is equal to P into pi by 4 into d square, where your pi and your d will be cancelled. From here, further simplification, we get your P is equal to 4 sigma by d, where P is your pressure in Newton per meter square, sigma is your surface tension in Newton meter, and D is your diameter of your droplet in meter. Next, we are going to see surface tension on a hollow bubble. A hollow bubble is like a soap bubble in which the inner and outer surface is in contact with air. See, consider a bubble. A bubble will have atmospheric air inside your bubble, and outside it will be in contact with your atmospheric air. First, I am going to consider your cross section. See, there is an surface tension force which has been acting on your entire surface. The surface tension has been denoted by a letter sigma. Both the sides of your bubble is subjected to surface tension. Here, your inner and outer surface, both the sides we have your surface tension. Next, we are going to consider your pressure force which has been acting in opposite direction to your surface tension. Then, D is your diameter of your hollow bubble. Next, we are going to calculate the tensile force due to surface tension, that is equal to 2 into sigma into circumferential area. Why we are having 2 over here is because there is a contact of air on inner and outer surface. That's why we are having 2 over here. Therefore, it is equal to 2 into sigma into pi into d. Next, we are going to calculate your pressure force. That is equal to P into cross sectional area. That is P into pi by 4 into d square. For an equilibrium condition, we know that 2 into sigma into pi into d is equal to P into pi by 4 into d square, because the tensile force and your pressure force are acting in opposite direction. So, for simplification, we get P is equal to 8 sigma by d. This is the relation between your pressure and surface tension for an hollow bubble, where P is your pressure in Newton per meter square and sigma is your surface tension in Newton meter, and D is your diameter of your bubble in meter. Next, we are going to discuss about surface tension on a liquid jet. Consider a liquid jet of diameter D. See, the diameter of the jet is D. Then, the length of the liquid jet is L. Considering the cross section of the liquid jet contact with air. See, we have two forces. One is your surface tension force and your pressure force. See, both are been acting in your opposite direction. Next, we are going to calculate the tensile force due to surface tension. That is equal to sigma into circumferential area. Over here, the circumferential area is 2L, because L over here is being contact and another L is being over here. Therefore, sigma into 2 into L. Next, we are going to calculate your pressure force, where that is equal to P into normal area. That is nothing but P into D into L. For an equilibrium condition, we know that sigma into 2 into L is equal to P into D into L, because your tensile force and your pressure force are acting in opposite direction. For further simplification, we get P is equal to 2 sigma by D. This is the relation between your pressure and surface tension for an liquid jet, where P is your pressure in Newton per meter square, sigma is your surface tension in Newton meter, and D is your diameter of your jet in meter. Thank you.